Hello, and welcome back, again, to ArcGIS News. I'm Peter Klingman. This is part 3 of a special interview series about the December 2020 ArcGIS Online update. In part 1, we covered HTTPS enforcement. Part 2, the end of support in ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise for IE11. And part 3, this video, goes over member profile gallery improvements. In this video, I talk with Jake Leas about member profile gallery improvements in ArcGIS Online. I hope you find it interesting. Well, cool. Okay. So thanks, Jake, for taking the time to chat with me today. So just to start off, I know I've heard we have some member profile gallery improvements. Can you give us a rundown on the member profile gallery improvements? What exactly is changing?
Yeah, for sure. So right now, the item galleries in the user profile are essentially just auto-populated. And it's split up into 2 galleries between items that you own that are shared to the organization and to the public. And again, you really don't have any control over what items are actually populated in those galleries aside from how they're shared. And then we just list them based on relevance. And our relevance is essentially a measure of if the items are marked as authoritative, how complete are the item details, number of views, things like that. So that's how it currently works. What we're introducing at 8.4 is that we're going to allow full customization of the item gallery, and it will be just a single item gallery that can contain your items that are shared to the organization and shared to the public. So you can pick and choose any items you want, and you can drag and drop them in any order you want. So there's much more control now.
What was some of the feedback that inspired this feature?
Sure. So when we first overhauled the whole user profile itself, the main story behind that was we wanted the profile to be more of a place where you could showcase who you are and what you do. So our initial piece of feedback was, we want to be able to showcase our items in our user profile. So our first iteration of that is where we're currently at. But when that was introduced, the main piece of feedback was kind of exactly what I explained before. Most people saw those item galleries and were like, great, but I want to be able to pick and choose exactly what goes in there. I don't want there to be this kind of relevance dictating what is kind of floating to the top. So yeah, just a greater need for more control over what you can actually do to curate your profile and showcase your work.
Very cool. Yeah, I can see the reasons behind that. Absolutely. Are you able to speak to some of the design and development work that goes into adding a feature like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are always 2 aspects to working on a project like this. The ideal user experience we want to provide is one of those aspects. And then also we have to take into account how feasible it is to create that experience from a development standpoint. And really for this feature, the user experience side of it was pretty straightforward. Give the user an item picker of all of their content, let them pick whatever they want, let them drag and drop those items to reorder it. So that's a pretty straightforward, user-friendly user experience. We did run into some hurdles, obviously, when it comes to the development and implementation of those things. And without really getting too deep into it, one of the issues was tying this, item gallery to your profile visibility setting. Because obviously, if you set your profile to be private, you probably don't want to showcase much or any of your work at all. So we just had to be sure that what we were doing was allowing the appropriate amount of customization to meet the needs of the users that had given us that feedback, all while still honoring the security standards and practices that we have to abide by. So, big shout out to our developers and designers for really coming together to create this experience in such a way.
That's great. Well, I can't wait to try it out here in a few weeks.
Yeah, we're excited to see it out in the world. We're excited to see everybody's user profiles and how they customize them and how they really curate their profile and how they want it to be showcased to others.
That's all we've got for member profile gallery improvements. In case you missed part 1 and part 2 of the interview series, the links are in the video description below. That's all the interviews for me. I guess it's back to the studio. Thanks again for watching and hope to see you next time. With ArcGIS News, I'm Peter Klingman.